We've seen protests here in the UK as pro-Palestinian protesters climbed over war memorials and statues, but even more shocking scenes in Dagestan in Russia as a mob stormed the airport in search of Jews. In medieval scenes, the attempted pogrom stormed the runway and rocked cars in a search for anyone from Israel, waving their Palestinian banners as they went. They stormed the airport. I mean, look, I can't believe this either, but it did happen. So they stormed the airport. They'd heard that a flight was landing from Tel Aviv. So the word obviously went round, clearly, that Jews must be landing in Dagestan. Cue, what would you say, it's thousands, isn't it, of people legging it through an airport, going room to room to room, breaking down doors in the airport, smashing through customs. There we go. People getting onto the tarmac. There was a bizarre clip of one guy, again, I'm not joking here, so this was the brains of Dagestan, this chap, looking into the jet's engine to see if maybe a Jewish person had been hiding in the plane's engine on the flight from Tel Aviv. Yeah, I know. But it's terrifying stuff, though, isn't it? Now, I know this is obviously quite a long way away in Dagestan, but it is concerning nonetheless, and I just want to know whether or not anything like this, we think, could ever happen here. Joining me now is David Rose, who's Politics and Investigations Editor at the Jewish Chronicle. David, thank you for joining me. Shocking scenes from Dagestan there. Firstly, what do you make of that?
Well, of course, what's happening in Dagestan is appalling. But unfortunately, we are dealing with a situation in the United Kingdom, which, while not yet as serious or as dramatic as that, nevertheless raises great concern. On Friday, the Community Security Trust put out one of its regular bulletins. The CST is the organisation set up by the Jewish community that works closely with the police and other authorities to protect Jewish individuals and sites such as synagogues. Anyway, according to their Friday bulletin, there have now been more anti-Semitic incidents recorded in the UK in the 3 weeks that this war has been taking place, and in the whole of the rest of the year, a higher number than they've ever recorded in a 3-week period ever. 805 incidents, of which 64, very alarmingly, took place against students on university campuses. And there were getting on for 100 examples either of assaults or threats to carry out such assaults on the streets. So very clearly, here you have a situation where Jewish people have become victims of appalling terrorism in Israel. And now, instead of showing, as it were, empathy for that, we have a situation in which anti-Semites based in Britain are seeing this as the excuse to declare open season on Britain's Jewish community.
Yeah, I mean, it's been like nothing on the same scale. There has been reports of Islamophobia as well, and kind of clashes that have taken place. But in terms of the anti-Semitism threat, we like to think, don't we, that nothing like the scenes from this airport in Dagestan could ever happen here. But I can't help but wonder whether or not we're sitting in a tinderbox at the moment. I went to some of those protests on Saturday to have a look around. I think it's important. If I'm going to sit here and talk about them every single week, I should show my face at some point. And David, it's a no-go zone for Jews in London, isn't it?
Let me tell you an anecdote, which I've just received in conversation with a friend about an hour ago. On Sunday, his son was due to play a football game and came home in tears. He was a member of a team set up by a Jewish youth organisation about to play a game against the non-Jewish youth team in an area of North London where lots of Jews live. The opposing team did not show up in strength. They only had 9 players because 2 of the parents of footballers on the opposing team had decided that they didn't want them to be playing Jews. What we have seen in the past 3 weeks is something that is new to me in my lifetime, which is that opposition to Israel seems in this country to have crossed over into outright displays of anti-Semitism. And just because people are Jewish, they are being shunned, they are being discriminated against, they are being abused and attacked. Now, this is, we have seen militant or vociferous anti-Israel, anti-Zionist protest in previous episodes of conflict between Israel and Hamas in the Gaza Strip, notably in 2021. But this, to me, is something of a wholly different order, where the parents of kids living in a prosperous area of North London don't want their kids to play Jews.
Yeah, shocking. I'm going to follow that up with you, actually, David, if that's all right. We'll do that off air. David Rose, thank you very much. As Politics and Investigations Editor at the Jewish Chronicle. Shocking stuff, isn't it?